guys, what's up? Tori here. So I'm here today with my 31-week pregnancy update. I am 31 weeks and 3 days today. Today's date would be Tuesday, October 13th of 2020. So we're getting there a little at a time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into this video and give you all the updates. So first is all the updates with baby. So baby is now about getting close to about 17.5 inches in length, which is about the size of a head of romaine lettuce. So I actually have romaine lettuce in my fridge, so it's like I actually held up one of the heads of that. I was like, she's a pretty good length now. Like, that's pretty cool. And then most babies at this stage probably weigh about 3.5 pounds or a little over that. My baby is probably not quite to that point yet, and I will get into that in an update in just a little bit. But because if you haven't been keeping up to date already, my baby she is running a little bit on the small side. So yes, but that is like an average according to my app that I use, where most babies are at this point. And at this stage, all of her senses are intact and ready to go for when she is born. Her immune system is nearly ready. It's pretty much as developed as it will get within the womb. It'll just develop more once she is born, and we'll start getting used to kind of her environment around her and stuff after she's born. So pretty much within the womb it's ready, but it'll be completely fully ready once she is born. So, or I should say after she is born. And then at this stage also her brain and nerves within her brain continue to develop. That's kind of the biggest thing that continues to develop yet at this point. And she's now beginning to get more flexible in her neck and in all her joints. So my app said like you might be able to feel and tell that more, and I definitely do, because at my last ultrasound she was head down, which is a good thing, and like I can definitely feel like some movements sometimes down lower, and like when I feel movements more down lower, they tend to be a bit smaller movements. Versus like when I feel them up higher, they're definitely more big, like kicks and hits and stuff. So yeah, so that is all the updates with baby developmentally this week. And then me, symptom-wise, nothing really super new to report. I definitely do get out of breath easier, like when I'm busy doing things. It's more like specific, like heavier working tasks, I should say, like just like your basic everyday, like, you know, cooking dinner and stuff. Like I don't really notice myself getting like super out of breath or anything. It's more like bigger tasks and activities. Like I was making, I washed Matt and I's sheets on our bed over the weekend, and when I noticed when I was making the bed and having to like, you know, pull, because we have a queen size bed, so like trying to pull all those big sheets over, like I definitely noticed myself getting a little more out of breath, like doing that kind of activity. So definitely like more like higher work activities, I noticed myself getting out of breath way easier, which normally on a normal case I don't get so out of breath doing tasks like that, at least not since losing all my weight and all that. But so I definitely noticed that, and I'm pretty much constantly in a state of tired. Some days are worse than others. Some days I'm like just dead exhausted all day, and then there are other days where it's like I just kind of have this like in general just like me tired all day. I do have like days here and there where I feel really good, really energetic, like I want to get stuff done and accomplished. Like I do still have days like that, but they're definitely starting to get much fewer and far between lately. Like I definitely am in much more of a state of tired, and it's kind of one of those like I do try to like have moments where I take it easy and relax and just kind of let myself like rejuvenate a little bit throughout each day, but like it's one of those that it's like I kind of have to force myself to push past it a little bit, because I know like there are things I have to do every day and have to get done every day. So it's definitely one of those battles. One thing I wanted to bring up is I did over the weekend, I did notice some slight swelling, like mostly in my feet, kind of a little bit in my hands. Like I could tell by my ring, like my ring was a little bit snugger over the weekends. I mean, now like it's sliding off just fine. Like it maybe gets stuck a little more than it normally does, but like I definitely was noticing it in my feet just a little bit over the weekend. Like nothing like major. It's not like they like expanded, super swelled or anything, but I definitely noticed that they swelled a little bit more over the weekend. And it could be like I maybe just was on my feet more, and I did do my 3-hour glucose test over the weekend as well. And that definitely kind of affected my appetite and how I was eating, especially the day that I did it. And then like Sunday definitely was kind of a very off eating day because I definitely ate mostly stuff that I don't normally eat all day long. So, that could have had a factor into it too and stuff. But like I've noticed now, like today, like yesterday there maybe was a tiny bit in my feet too, but like now today, like I'm looking down at my feet right now, like I don't really notice any major swelling today or anything. Like if there is any, it's maybe a hair bit, but definitely better. So I did notice that over the weekend a little bit, but it was nothing like major. So from there, I guess I will just go into talking about other things that occurred in this last week. So last week, Thursday, was my last maternal fetal medicine appointment. And we had another growth ultrasound check on baby, and she did have good growth because at the ultrasound prior to that one, they approximated her weight at about 1 pound 15 ounces. And then last Thursday when I went, they approximated her weight at about 2 pounds 10 ounces. So there definitely was good growth. There was nearly 1 full pound of growth, which is what they like. That's kind of what they like to see. In a 2-week time span. So she did have a good growth, and her growth is still trending upwards. She is just still running on the small side. So I'm going to continue going every 2 weeks for ultrasounds to continue monitoring her growth and make sure her growth does continue to go upwards, because if at any point her growth were to stall or stop, that would be a sign okay, it's time to just deliver her. So, and at this point, the doctor that I saw last week, which is a different doctor than I've seen a couple of the doctors within the office, and this one was different than the ones that I've seen already, but this doctor was saying that the main goal would be to get her to at least the 5 pound weight range before delivery. Is kind of the best area to have her at, especially if I still want to end up delivering here at my local hospital with my OB instead of going to where the maternal fetal medicine office is, which is about 40-ish minutes away. The hospital that's over there kind of connected with them. If she were to be under that 5 pound range, and if any other issues were to come up, and if I would have to deliver any earlier than 38 weeks, then they would want me delivering over there versus here at my local hospital, because over there they have the NICU that they could put her in if she were to need it, where there is not a NICU at my local hospital here. So they did kind of briefly bring that up with me, but he did say that as long as her weight is in the 5 pound range, and then I get to at least between 38 and 39 weeks, and everything else is still good with my health and her health and all of that, they are still fine with me delivering at my local hospital here with my OB. So that kind of is all up in the air, and they did say that they definitely for sure will probably deliver her anywhere between 38 and 39 weeks. They definitely will not let me go much past 39 weeks at all. And he was even saying it might even be closer to 38 weeks that they end up delivering her. So, which means that there's a potential, she's due December 12th is her actual due date. But there is definitely a real possibility that she may not even make it to December, that she might be born at the very tail end in November even. So it'll just kind of depend on where things go and how things are. But at this point, she is still looking completely healthy. I'm still in really good health and all of that. The flow, her blood flow through her umbilical cord was still good. Placenta was still functioning okay. It's still obviously in the 2 weird pieces, but still was functioning okay, all fine and stuff. So at this point, everything was looking good there, and all that. So she's all healthy, I'm all healthy. She's just still running small, basically, is the only thing. So basically the main prayer at this point is that she gets to over that 5 pound point, and that I can make it to at least 38 weeks so I can deliver here and not have to go elsewhere to deliver, and that she won't need any NICU time or anything like that. So yes. And then the next thing I want to bring up is this past weekend I did do my 3-hour glucose test, like I mentioned. I went on Saturday morning because it was literally the only time I could go to the lab to get it done. And I remember that they initially brought up that I was going to have to do this carb loading ahead of time, and then my OB told me that I did not have to do the carb loading, that I could do the test without having to carb load, which I was like, thank goodness. So I just ate normally, but he did say he wanted me to fast still, so I just ate normally pretty much up until that point. And then I did do the fasting. I didn't like eat breakfast or anything before going. I went like right away at like 7:30 in the morning to try and get it done right away. Because too, the lab closes earlier on Saturdays, so I pretty much had to go right away in the morning. So yeah, I pretty much got there like right at 7:30, and this time it definitely did go rougher than the first time, because drinking that really sweet, sugary orange crap on an empty stomach, and having a weight loss surgery stomach on top of that, and being pregnant on top of that, like, it was rough. That first hour was really rough, because especially the first little bit of that first hour was really rough, because I had a brief moment where I seriously had to sit and concentrate on not throwing up. Like, I at one point did come really close to thinking I was gonna have to throw it up. And I was just like, no, I can't throw it up, because if I throw it up, then I have to come back and try doing this again another time. And I really don't want to have to do that. So I did have a very brief time there where I had to focus really hard on not throwing up. I did like burp quite a few times, but I didn't ever throw up, which is a good thing. I'm really glad I never did throw up. But yeah, that first hour was rough, and after the first hour, it went much better. So basically what they did is as I got my blood drawn right when I got there to get like a fasting blood sugar, and then I drank the stuff, and then they drew my blood again 1 hour later, and then 2 hours later, and then 3 hours later. So I sat there like pretty much all morning long doing this test, and like I said, after the first hour, it got much better. Like, I wasn't feeling near as blah and sick and whatnot. And I definitely was starting to feel pretty hungry too later on, because I hadn't eaten anything. But then definitely the whole day, like, my appetite was very weird. Like, sitting to eat like a full meal, I couldn't like tolerate eating a full meal very well. Like, it was very, I don't know, it felt very bizarre to me. Like, I pretty much snacked most of the day. I ate like 2 meals, but like they weren't, I don't know, I don't think they were really great meals necessarily, because it was like I only ate like even less than what I normally can eat with my weight loss surgery tummy that I have, like, and it was just like I kind of would start feeling like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't really want it anymore. Like, it was definitely different, bizarre, rough. So Saturday, like I said, I kind of snacked all day, and not even necessarily like on great things, just things that kind of sounded good in the moment. So Saturday, I think doing that glucose test just kind of threw me totally off, for sure. But all my blood work did come back, because like I said before, my hospital that I go through has an app that they will send like all your blood work to, and everything came back on my app. I saw it, and all my levels were in the normal range. Nothing was over the normal range, nothing was too low or anything like that. So my blood sugars are all good. I do not have gestational diabetes, so thank the good Lord for that. That is one thing I do not gotta worry about for this pregnancy, which is a great thing. So yeah, that is everything with that, and now that's done, over with. Don't gotta worry about that anymore. And then the very last thing I want to bring up is then next week begins my craziness of pretty much living at the doctor's office. Next week, Monday, is my first NST or non-stress test that I have to go to have. And then next week, Thursday, I actually go out to maternal fetal medicine. I have my second non-stress test while I'm there. And then also I will be having my next ultrasound, and seeing the doctor after that ultrasound all while I'm there. So it'll probably be a good like 2-ish hour appointment, if not longer. It'll be a while that I'm there, but we scheduled it that way on purpose, so then that way it was less appointments I was trying to make and have to like work around work and all of that. So next week begins when I start going pretty much twice a week, every single week, because of having to do the non-stress test. So and yeah, I'm pretty much, that next week is when I pretty much start living at the doctor's office, and life will be really crazy pretty much up until she's born. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that like, I mean, if she's born at 38 weeks and I'm 31 weeks now, like that pretty much means like I got like anywhere between 7 and 8 weeks to go until she's here. Like it's kind of crazy to think about. Like that's not a whole lot of time. So, but it's exciting, and I'm definitely starting to feel very ready to get her out of me and get my body back and just have her here and be able to enjoy her and have her safe and healthy and all that. Like, definitely getting very much to that point. And then as far as like things with the nursery and stuff, no major updates. I do have my baby shower coming up on November 1, which I think I've brought up before, but yeah, if you guys are interested, I think I might leave a link to my Amazon registry down below in case any of you are interested in getting something for baby. Because with that, you can literally just select the item and have it shipped straight to me. If you were to want to. I've had some people bring that up to me, wanting to get me things. I am by no means expecting it or asking of it at all, because times are tough for everyone. Like I honestly truly have a really hard time asking people to get me stuff, because I know like everyone is in a tough spot these days. Like things are crazy these days and things are rough. So by no means am I asking of it or anything like that. This is just for those that do have a desire to, but don't feel a necessity to do it at all. Please do not. Like I cannot stress that enough. Like please do not feel like you absolutely have to send me anything or get me anything for the baby. Just yeah. So but yeah, that is everything for this week. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my 31-week baby bump. And you guys will actually be able to see it pretty good like right away, because this week at work is Spirit Week and today was favorite color day. So I just wore a nice comfy pink dress to work today. So this is with the dress on. So this is this way and then facing this way. And facing this way, definitely showing growth. And then I'll go ahead and just pull the dress up. I got leggings on underneath, so but then this is facing forward with the dress up. Belly button is still just kind of stretching away, not really popping or anything yet. This is the baby bump facing this way. We are definitely growing and expanding for sure. Like definitely, especially when I see it in these videos, like holy cow, like I'm definitely beginning to look more and more pregnant. And this is from this side. So yeah, but I do kind of like that I got a nice like little round ball going. Like I like that I kind of look legit pregnant and not just like, I always feel bad for the women that don't necessarily look pregnant, like, you know, so I do kind of like that I look more legit pregnant and not just like fat or anything. But yes, so that is the bump for this week, and that is all the updates I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week in my 32-week update. Love you guys so much. Bye.